Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more Hearthstone Arena action, and we're doing a Shaman run this time. Starting off with a pretty good rare. Sunfury Protector's always solid. Feral Spirit, man, that's a tricky card. I mean, it is a total of 5 mana for a pair of 2/3 with Taunters. If your opponent can't deal with it, then it's just really, really good, but if your opponent can deal with them, you're really out of luck. The Sunfury is definitely the safer pick here. I'm taking the Feral Spirit, though. So it's got more potential. Here's my favorite card, of those three anyway, the Shattered Sun Cleric. It's always good to have a Bloodlust. Let's take that right there. Now, tricky move, Lava Burst versus Gadgetzan Auctioneer. Auctioneer has a lot of potential. Shamans have a decent number of 1-mana spells that are good. Lightning Bolt, Rockbiter, Weapon, Forked Lightning. There's 0-mana stuff, though. Totemic Might and what's its face? Ancestral Healing are garbage. So this is a little bit tricky to get cards out of this guy. We'll take the Lava Burst here and try to get card draw in other ways. Alright, Raging Organs have been really good lately, but you need 2 drops, and even though Novice Engineer is just a 1/1, still, you need to get some 2 drops in here. Should I take the Razorfen Raptor over the... the Bloodfen Raptor over the Razorfen Hunter for curve reasons? No, let's take the better card here. Let's not worry about curve just yet. Oh man, this is tough. Forked Lightning obviously is really great, but nice to have card draw, or the Cult Master as well. We'll take the Forked Lightning, though. I really want to make sure I have one of those. Ooh, tough choice here. These are all good 3s. This is quite aggressive. This is quite durable. Let's go for durability over aggression. Though I may regret that later. Now, here do I take the Ooze over the Ghoul? The Ghoul can get big, but I've already got 1, 2, 3, 4 3-drops. And only 1 2-drop, which is Novice Engineer. I'll take the Ooze. Much as I hate passing on the Ghoul, you gotta watch your curve. Knife Juggler is an easy call. It works really nicely for Shamans. The only playable card here is the Fairy Dragon. Okay, so we got our 2 drops all taken care of. Still don't want the Vengeful Mercenary. This thing's a pile of garbage. We're taking the Farseer then. And we get to get a good 1-drop. That's always nice. Now, here's a tricky moment. Do you take the Unbound Elemental or the Sen'jin? The Unbound Elemental can get really big. If you play even 1 Overload card, it's as big as the Sen'jin minus the Taunt. But I have no Taunt here and no 4-drop, so let's grab Sen'jin. Alright, now here I am considering the Wolf Rider over the Flame Tongue, which I know is crazy because Flame Tongue is very good. But the Wolf Rider's kind of like removal, and it adds some reach to your deck. I don't have that much removal here. However, I will take the Flame Tongue. It's good to have one of those, but I would not take a second one if I could help it. Thankfully, Fen Creeper's here because the other cards are trash. The Warden is a 4-drop, but I'm going to take the Argent Squire here over the Warden for those early plays. Sen'jin number 2 is fantastic. If all my 4-drops are Sen'jins, I wouldn't mind. Same choice here, so we could take a crappy 4-mana Taunter. Don't really need that, I don't think. We'll take another Argent Squire. Lightning Storm! Yes, please. Hard to pass that one. Man, my 4-drops are premier. Yeti, Sen'jin. We even get a Spellbreaker here. Okay, this is all looking pretty good. Now, unfortunately, I took Flame Tongue earlier. Do I take a second Flame Tongue? Well, I definitely don't want another Bloodlust. I think I'll take a second Flame Tongue over this healer. I'm getting a bit too many 3-drops, and too many 3-drops can lose you games. Only playable card here is the Fen Creeper, so let's just take that. And again, I could take this because I'm short on removal, but I'm just going to take the Tiger. So we have a lot of good 5-drops here. Now, here's a tough one. Do I take the card draw or the 6-drop for some reach and removal? Well, I do need some removal, so I'm going to take this, although I am sad to be passing on the card drawing potential there. Stormforged Axe is the only playable here. Also a very good card, and just in general. Hex! Do definitely want one of those. And over a second Bloodlust, I'll take Unbound Elemental, so I got that guy in the end. Here we get a trash pick. I know everyone's in the comments going to be like, oh, but Ancestral Spirit's really good if you put it on a Boulderfist Ogre. But we're going to go ahead and grab Crazed Alchemist because Ancestral Spirit is just pure garbage. Whereas Crazed Alchemist at least is a 2/2 for 2 and sometimes more. Crazed Alchemist, if you're playing against another Shaman, it will kill their totems. It can sometimes let you trade creatures you wouldn't otherwise be able to trade. You know, it always finds a use. That's my saying. So this deck, I don't think is that great, to be honest. It doesn't have any endgame. I think I saw like a Wind Fury Harpy, and that's it. I do have a bunch of 5-drops that are pretty good, like a couple of Fen Creepers, got a Tiger, but yeah, not that much removal and really no endgame. So yeah, this is awkward. We will not play the Ooze on turn 2 unless I need to, because he's off to a fast start. You can bet that just about any Paladin is going to have a Truce of a Champion at some point, so it's worth it to hang on to your Oozes. Okay, we got a Fairy Dragon, which is actually really nice, because that will be a great alternative to Ooze. Paladins really need to have minions on the board. if a paladin cannot get minions to stick, his power is greatly diminished. So that's what we're going to try to do here, is get rid of the paladin's creatures. Sorry, I'm just playing with my mouse cords. Okay, I guess I'll just be dangling. Got the Shattered Sun Cleric. Fairy Dragon against a paladin is somewhat likely to survive, unless of course he plays a 2-powered guy here. Yeah, okay. Well, although the Fairy Dragon is generally the more valuable creature than the Ooze, I will actually play it here to try to trade it with the Amani Berserker, because I feel like the Ooze is worth keeping around to kill a True Silver Champion. Okay, so he makes a recruit, that's fine. Is he going to kill the Fairy Dragon? He is, so this guy's not doing anything cheeky. Alright, here we get to play the Unbound Elemental. Bemoan the fact that this guy didn't come into my hand a few turns ago. Won't be for a while that I can play him, unless I decide to Shatter Sun Cleric next turn. Which I will in fact be doing. So I need to kill this Worgen, otherwise it'll kill my Unbound Elemental. My opponent, a straight up Stone Cold, forgot to attack with a Silverhand Recruit. That's funny. I could play Senjin, but I just don't want this to get Blessing of Kings or anything. You know, don't let Paladins keep creatures and all that. So we'll do this. Now, do you play this guy? Then everything dies to Consecration. Actually, I'm not going to play him. I think there's a decent chance my opponent has Consecration. The risk of losing this is, I think, worth more than the potential of it to like trade against something. I've got already 2 pretty big creatures here. He also has a Fairy Dragon. Well, had I played this, it would be a very good way to kill the Fairy Dragon. As it is, he's going to get to keep a creature on the board, unfortunately. He remembers to attack this time. And I get to play Fen Creeper, so let's do that. Boom. And we're going to just chomp up these recruits. And then hopefully the Fen Creeper survives against the Fairy Dragon if he can't Blessing of Kings, because it can't be targeted by hero powers or spells. Ha-ho! So the only thing that can happen with this is it can get buffed like a Dark Iron Dwarf, but that still isn't enough to kill the Fen Creeper. So it's looking pretty good. He's got 6 cards on a Fen Creeper. I have 7 total cards on the screen. This is looking alright. These guys are tapped out. They can't... Okay, well, that sucks. So I don't have any silence in this deck. Actually, I do. I have a Spellbreaker. What am I talking about? I have a Spellbreaker. He should run the Fairy Dragon into the Fen Creeper. Obviously, otherwise the Fairy Dragon would just die to this Abomination. My opponent realizes that, makes the right call. And I have Hex. That is worth it. That is really worth it. I mean, yes, as my one and only Hex, it's possible that he will later on play something else that I could have hexed, and I won't have a hex for like a really big threat, like a Tyrion or whatever, but I'm gambling that with all this stuff on the board, unless he plays like a Sunwalker or something, I should really be fine. They've got enough minions that I can afford to 2-for-1 some stuff. So Consecration here would be good. It would kill off this, my pig, and leave these with 1 health. But no, he doesn't have Consecration. He has a Yeti. Not the most impressive thing, the Yeti. I mean, I can't kill it very easily, but I don't necessarily need to. Now I can start pounding his face. Bloodlust. Should I just do that? Here, let's see. We have 3, 6, 9, 12. 12 plus 15 is actually enough damage to win, so... Brah. Well, I never did play the Worgen Infiltrator. Luckily, it didn't matter. And there's our turn 7 victory against some resistance. Not much. He never played True Silver, Hammer of Wrath, or Consecration. He had the Abomination that I had the Hex for, but really he just didn't have very much that game. So it was a pretty free win, which is fine by me. I never did play the Ooze, never did play the Worgen Infiltrator, but I had them as a reserve in case he had whipped out something big. I won that game with a little bit of margin to spare. Now that Bloodlust could have been a Frost Elemental, so had it been a Frost Elemental, I would have played it, frozen his Yeti, attacked for 12, he would have been down to 12 health. I probably would have won anyway, even without that being a Bloodlust. It's just nice to secure the win. So this morning I was hanging out with my girlfriend and her son. Man, 4-year-olds, they are crazy. Because for a moment you're like, oh, you're a human being, and then like they do something ridiculous. Okay, no, never mind, you're still like a dumb kid. No, sorry, I don't mean to say that he's a dumb kid, but I mean, like, there's definitely a limit to, like, a 4-year-old's capacity for critical thinking and logic, and so, like, you're talking to them, and you think, like, this person gets what's going on, and then all of a sudden they just, like, shut down and can't do anything. It's kind of funny, and it takes a little bit of getting used to. Also, hanging out with small children makes you think about, like, what you were like when you were a kid, and I'm just, like, looking back, I'm like, man, I was kind of a douche. Like, I bet my parents were really annoyed by some of the stuff I did. But I also realized that my parents didn't appreciate me enough when I was a kid, because all I wanted to do as a kid was play computer games. Like, you could just ship me off to the computer room. I wouldn't touch anything. I wouldn't break anything. I would not need to be entertained. I wouldn't need your attention. I could just go there and I could just play games for hours. Whereas, like, a lot of other kids, you know, they constantly demand attention and stuff. My girlfriend's son, it's like, he runs around the house, he's, like, bouncing up and down, he's, like, super energetic, he wants to talk to you all the time. Like, you cannot, like, just lie on the couch and rest when he is in the house. You need to, like, constantly be alert. But when I was a kid, you know, I would just go to the computer, but my parents didn't appreciate it. They kept yelling at me to not play computer games so much. They just wanted me to, like, get off and do something else. And now I'm like, man, you guys don't know how good you had it. All you have to do is let me sit at the computer, and I would have just been, like, the best child ever. Anyway, the reason I'm talking about stuff is because nothing's going on in this game. My opponent took, like, the entire Mesozoic era to decide her mulligan. And we might be halfway through the Jurassic era by the time she makes her first turn play. I don't know if this is a griefer. You don't really see that many griefers in the arena, but could be someone who's AFK, possibly. I mean, we don't really see her hovering over anything, do we? Well, if it's AFK, I just hope it's someone who's AFK away from keyboard and not an actual griefer, because that would just be annoying. I never concede to griefers. I never, ever. If I have to sit there for half an hour to play my game, I will sit there for half an hour and I will kill them, because otherwise you're just encouraging their behavior. Somebody's got to step up to the team, step up to the plate, take one for the team, and beat those guys so that they don't do it anymore. Now, honestly, I've played like over 270 arenas by this point. Really, I've never seen a single griefer. So, like, it's always a possibility that someone will like wait for the rope to get to the end and then make their play just to make the game take super long. But realistically, I've never seen that. So I apologize, folks. This may take a little bit of time, but luckily Blizzard did implement a little bit of anti-griefing procedure. I wish they would do something so that if you get to the rope on one turn, you have less time on the next turn. Or maybe just do like a clock, you know, like for chess, where you have like a total amount of time for the game. Because this is a little bit exploitable here. Alright, we're going to, I'm going to play accurately here. I'm not going to play the flame tongue and like beat her down. I'm going to play it just as I would if I were playing against someone who was passing her turns. Because first you want to put down a couple of minions, then you want to drop Flame Tongue Totem, so you can get +2 twice rather than just once. If I had played Flame Tongue last turn, I would have not been using my mana efficiently, and I would have dealt 2 damage on the spot, but then the Flame Tongue's value would have been diminished a bit. Alright, so on turn 4, well, let's go ahead and play Flame Tongue. Swing, swing, play a Fairy Dragon. Notice I'm putting the Fairy Dragon on the left because the totems come out on the right. So I want to make it so that, you know, if the right space clears up, I can, my totems will be next to the Flame Tongue. Granted, this Golem is here, but when the Golem dies, it will also spawn to the right. I think I should actually win next turn. Make a totem, that's 1 damage. Lava Burst is 5 more, that's 6 damage, and then we have 9 damage here. So yeah, this deck can Goldfish in 5 turns, although I think that if the opponent had been here, it would have taken at least 2 more turns to win, because she could have at the very least pinged off my Knife Juggler, and that would have saved her a lot of damage, so they would have taken a little bit longer. So Goldfishing purely, it took 5 turns to win, but had she been like doing nothing except for her hero ability, it would have taken like 6 or 7. Okay, well, let's just play one more game in this video. That wasn't a real game. I normally do 2 games in 1 video. That was not a real game, though. So, yeah, this video will be a little bit extra long. I apologize, but it seems silly to end after a game against someone who literally was just away from the keyboard and not present. It's possible that they timed out as well. Blizzard a while ago implemented a thing where when it times out, if you lose your internet connection, you have some amount of time to log back in and it'll rejoin. I used it once, but it was kind of a load of baloney, at least for me, because like my timer clock kept going, so yeah, it wasn't all that helpful. Like when I logged back in, by the time I managed to make it back in there, like the opponent had like a 2 free turns or something. Like, yeah, you can sometimes win a game from that if you're super in the lead when it starts, but usually, like if your opponent gets 2 free turns in a game of Hearthstone, you're going to lose the game. So the log out, log in feature, unless you're really on the ball, doesn't really do that much. Infinite. Oh, I see what this person did. Infinite with a PH. Good job. Is this person away from the keyboard too? What's going on here? We're second against a rogue. That's good. Nope, there's the card hover. Letting you know the person's at the keyboard. They kept this card, so keep an eye on that. The third card from the left is the card they kept. We'll see how good that is. I was originally going to coin the Fairy Dragon out and then play Flame Tongue. Or even coin the Fairy Dragon, make a totem, and then try to Flame Tongue. But with the Argent Squire here, let's just go ahead and play the Argent Squire. No reason to use the coin just yet. In fact, I might pass the Flame Tongue altogether. Depending on what she does, I could play Fairy Dragon and then coin out my 4-drops and play those back to back. I mean, this is premier stuff right here. Premier stuff. Okay, so it looks like she wants to kill the Argent Squire. Now, what I could do here is make a little bit of an unorthodox play. I could actually play Flame Tongue Totem, swing for 3 damage, take her down to 26, and if she kills the Argent Squire, she's going to go down to 23. But that's really just not as good. I'm going to let the Argent Squire die. We're just going to do this. She can kill the Argent Squire. I got this Fairy Dragon here, which is difficult to kill now. She need a Charging Murloc or a Wolf Rider to kill it. Harvest Golem. Okay, that's fine. Don't really mind that. So she kills the Argent Squire. So the Argent Squire dealt 3 damage to the opponent. Cost her 2 mana. It's fine. Now we're going to leave this Golem alone. We're going to play Ascension Shield Master. And we're going to swing here. So this way, there are some pretty good things she could do. She could Betrayal, kill the Fairy Dragon. She could dagger up. Well, it'd be a little bit difficult to combo and eviscerate out if she's daggering as well, but she could, you know, combo eviscerate and throw the golem in this to kill it. She's going to make a dagger. Well, that's a good sign. She can't do much with the dagger unless she saps this thing. Deadly Poison. Okay, so Deadly Poison plus the golem will kill this engine off. And that's unfortunate a bit because then the damaged golem comes back and it will kill my Fairy Dragon off. Well, we're going to play a Yeti here. I'm actually going to hit her in the face. Now, the reason I'm hitting her in the face, you might be like, well, Boris, hang on. Can't you just use this Golem and the Wicked Knife to kill your Yeti? Yeah, but then she's going down to 14 health, and this Fairy Dragon is still here, so she'd end up getting kind of close to losing. Just got to be a little bit careful here, because I am on the brink of burning her out. Now, this deck doesn't have the best burn potential, but it does have some with Bloodlust and Argent Commander. She's actually going to go for the more conservative play here, just killing off my Argent Squire. Ah, Earthen Ring Farseer. That is music to my face. So, I don't really want to play Flame Tongue here. The reason I don't want to play Flame Tongue is it'll just die to the Deadly Poison with the Wicked Knife. I could have Forked Lightning. That would let me kill off the Senjin. Then I'd be overloaded. And this thing would annoyingly still be there. A Flame Tongue would let me kill the Senjin as well. Then this Deadly Poison kills the Flame Tongue. I could play the Healer, heal that. She hits the Flame Tongue. She's got this thing here, and I have a 4-5 and a 3-3. I could have also a 4-5 and a 3-3 just by playing a Forked Lightning. So it's a question of do I play the Forked Lightning or do I play the Flame Tongue? I think we're going to do Forked Lightning because honestly time's going to pass this thing by. So we're going to do Forked Lightning now. Swing there. Heal up. Okay, so now the Deadly Poison will kill the Farseer. She drops, however, to 15 health, down to 11 if I'm allowed to attack with the Yeti, down to 9 if I can use the Flame Tongue. So she's got to be a little bit careful here. She's going to freeze that. I really want to draw my Spellbreaker, because the Spellbreaker would let me silence this and hit her in the face for a bunch of damage. Alas, no. Okay, so what we need to do here is think very carefully. If I Hex this, I can't do anything else. But if I don't Hex this, this thing's going to die. I could also play Shattered Sun Cleric to buff this up, and the Shattered Sun Cleric would die. Yeah, let's go ahead and Hex. Seems fine. Now that Frog, unfortunately, I can't kill because my guy was frozen, so I'm losing 4 damage because of the Frog having Taunt. Should be okay, though. Knife Juggler is annoying, but manageable. Harvest Golem, okay. This is fine. I need to get my Lightning Storm at some point here. Eviscerate! Oh no, she's actually going to kill my Yeti. That's lame. I got the wrong cards. I have this Bloodlust, man. Here's where Frost Elemental would have been much better. Okay, Unbound Elemental is pretty good. We'll do this, and I'm going to do this just to make it as big as possible, even though the Shattered Sun Cleric will die to the Golem. I have to do it. I'm actually behind here. My opponent has 6 cards to my 4, soon to be 5, and her board's actually pretty good. I don't have any good answers to that. The Knife Juggler hit this, which is pretty bad, because now the Knife Juggler plus a dagger will kill this. But if I can get Lightning Storm, I should be okay. Bloodlust is terrible. Flame Tongue here is awful. Oh, geez, what is this? She's going to put that into stealth. Interesting choice, okay. So I can't mess with this. She's going to kill the Shattered Sun Cleric. Fine. I still need Lightning Storm. Still need Lightning Storm. Oh my god, I need Lightning Storm. Feral Spirit. Well, that's actually pretty good. So we'll do Feral Spirit. Boom. Good times. Put a Flame Tongue right in between these guys. Boom. So now they kill all her stuff, except the Scarlet Crusader, of course, will just kill one. Damn, that's annoying. Got a Healing Totem, which is... okay, it'll heal up the Unbound Elementals. Okay, so the Scarlet Crusader is very good for my opponent here. Lets her kill one of my wolves for free, but the other wolf will take some kind of a price, either a card or a minion. Okay, there goes that. The Knife Juggler kills that. She can kill the Flame Tongue now. With the Master of Disguise. She still has 2 cards, which makes me a little very nervous. Deadly Poison. No, not Deadly Poison. Lame. Squire Tammy. Well, at least that's not doing anything bad to me at the moment. She kills the Flame Tongue that way. She kills that with the Damaged Golem. Oh man, she did a pretty good job. So my board's clear. I've got Bloodlust, which sucks. That really should have been a Frost Elemental. I think I misdrafted. Flame Tongue. Ugh. I could use this to kill the Squire. Or the Crusader. But then it's just gonna die. Well, let's see what totem we get before we make a decision. If I'd gotten a taunt, I might have played the Flame Tongue. As it is, we'll just... well, this way everything's just gonna die. She kills everything with her stuff. So yeah, I really do need to kill something here. We'll kill the Scarlet Crusader. So yeah, she can kill this, but at least then I got to kill one of her things first. I'm in some pretty bad trouble. Lightning Storm could still bail me out though, if I ever would draw that. I didn't get any Fire Elementals. I just realized no Fire Elementals. Man, I've had really bad luck with Fire Elementals in some of my later Shaman arenas. She's got some kind of removal card, it seems. Argent Squire's not that helpful. That'll be easily killed. Unfortunately, this could have been a Mogushan Warden, which also wouldn't have been that helpful. Boy, this game is unfortunate. Don't have enough beef in this deck. Well, actually, I do. I got Fen Creepers in here. I got Senjins, got a Tiger, got Lightning Storm. I've got plenty of beef. I just haven't drawn it. She's playing super cautiously. So these guys now die to Lightning Storm. She has nothing else. She's got some removal cards, it would seem. Okay, so let's see what happens with this Fen Creeper now. Let's see what removal she brings to bear upon it. Maybe an Assassinate. This is the card she's had for the longest time. She has the Black Knight. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is really a good answer to Fen Creeper. So she's at 13. Wow. That's 2 legendaries back to back. Okay. Well, legendaries aren't even the reason I lost this game, but I've definitely lost this game. Okay, we'll play one more card here. I don't know if she can kill me this turn. The Taunt Totem. See, she can't kill me this turn, but like, game's pretty much over. That's Bloodlust. Misdraft. Should have taken Frost Elemental. I'll know next time. Ah, that lets her kill the Fen Creeper easily. And she hits me for 8 damage. Alright, we're going to draw a card and concede. Lightning Storm no longer saves me. Storm Forged Axe. Well, thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed the video, please like it and or consider subscribing to my channel. If you'd like to see the rest of the run, stay tuned. I'll be posting the rest of the games in just a moment. See you back in a bit.